Because you talk about bubble teams, you talk about moving the needle wins. There are several of them. There is one that comes to your mind tonight in the Southeastern Conference. Who may have saved their season and who may have saved his job this evening? Go ahead.
Yeah, Rodney Terry and the Texas Longhorns. It was ugly. It looked like they were giving away the game a couple, more than a couple times. But ultimately, Texas goes into Stark Vegas, gets a huge win against Chris Jans and Mississippi State, makes enough plays down the stretch. Trey Johnson, man, he is electric, and he got some help tonight from Tremont Marks. There was a young guy and the vet, and they combined for 47 points, and they end up kind of, coming back with an ugly win, but a win that puts them right back on the bubble because it's a quad one win. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Texas Longhorns, heading into, the final game of SEC and then obviously the SEC tournament in Nashville next week.
Tyler, I'm not going to ask you first about the meaning of the win. Here's what I want to know, right? When the calendar flips to March, look, you were an All-American. You were an all-time great in college hoops. When the calendar flipped to March, how did you shift up to your highest gear, and how did you stay under control?
Well, for me, whenever March came around, I always approached it as, listen, you've already done most of your work. A lot of the teams that I've been involved with, we had already built our resume. And, for me, when it comes March time, I'm not really trying to work myself. I'm trying to find ways to catch my rest and prepare for the tournament. And I've never been a big fan of conference tournaments because of that reason. I think if you make a deep run in conference tournaments, it's almost impossible to walk into the NCAA tournament 4 days later or a week later and actually be at full strength. So I'm trying to find ways to stay on top of my game, how I can sharpen my game, get my reps up, but still make sure that I'm getting my rest. So whenever I do take the court, I'm at 100%.
But you never really calmed down. You're Psycho T, man.
Fanta, you know what? I wasn't a robot. The preparation I did, it was caused a lot of – it wasn't good for my mentals. I had a routine. I was superstitious. All that stuff weighed on me. And I will tell you this. Whenever I went to China, I didn't have the access to all the things that I did in the States. And that's when I just went out there and started hooping. And I was playing well. I knew it was all BS and it was all mental, all this stuff I was putting in, all these superstitions I had. So
what were they? Wait. What was your most whacked out superstition, Tyler, looking back on it now?
Man, I had a long routine. So I had to eat the same thing every single game day. I had no candy, no nothing. It depended on I had oatmeal for breakfast. I would have a light lunch. I'd have salmon right before the game for dinner with a little broccoli. Then I couldn't sign autographs or take pictures before the game because one game I did, we got blasted. And then walking out to –
So you were an asshole. So you were an asshole to every fan before the game is what you're saying.
I was a complete asshole. I didn't care who you were. And listen, and here's the worst part is I had to be the last guy out of the tunnel. I couldn't wear my warm-up. I had to make 2 free throws before the game started in a row. And no high fives.
No high fives? None.
I didn't like it.
If Bobby Frazier tried to high five you, no chance.
Frazier was superstitious as well. So, no, I would give high fives, but I did not like that. I don't know what it was. There was superstition. I think I'd high-fived everybody before a game, and we didn't play as well. So somehow I blamed it on that. But, yeah, those are just fans to listen. It was ridiculous, all the things that I did, and I hated it.
Let's amazing on so many levels. By the way, Jeff is pictured in front tonight of his oven. Do you think Jeff can cook, Tyler?
I'm curious to see how much usage that oven has gotten from Jeff.
Zero. Absolutely zero. We got here yesterday, but that oven, I promise you, over the next month that we're here, will get absolutely no use from me and minimal from my wife. Minimal.
Well, let's get back to Texas. Look, Tyler, you know this time of year. I mean, Trey Johnson is a top 5-ish NBA draft prospect. He's hovering around top 5 to 7. He steps up with 23 points. That's nothing new. Tremont Mark, before I get back to Jeff on this game, what it could do for Texas, it's a quad 1 win. It comes on the road. You find a way in overtime. Tyler, when you think about Texas getting this done, what comes to mind?
In my mind, it's a quality win, but also it's on the road. I think you have to take that in consideration. And you know the morale of this team, for them to get this win at this point in the year, especially after some criticism, from their coach, all the speculation, did we hire the right guy? The team stayed within the locker room, and they really, listened to themselves. They didn't give in, and they went on the road and got a great quality win when they needed one to build the resume, to kind of put something forth to the committee that make a case to get into the tournament.
Jeff, stick with Rodney Terry here. I mean, the pressure at Texas is always on, no matter who's the head coach. But this season, you're at 6-10. You're 5-11 in your league. You're staring at darkness here. They had to win this game to stay with a pulse. They did find a way. The one thing they do have, Jeff, they play a lot of iso ball. They've got different dudes who can have that kind of night, and we saw that tonight from Mark and Johnson.
Yeah, it was less ball screen offense for them, and just more like letting those guys cook, and they can. I mean, that's the best thing Trey Johnson does, right? Give him the ball, clear out, and let him go to work. And when he does that, he had 39 a couple nights ago. He follows it up with another big game. There's very few guys that can stay in front of Trey Johnson, and that's probably Rodney Terry's best offense. Honestly, he's just kind of giving the ball to Trey Johnson and letting him go rather than trying to run ball screen or anything else with that team. But, I think it's probably a little bit too late for Texas at the end of the day. Now, again, if they win their final regular season game and win in the SEC tournament, yeah, maybe they can go to a little bit of a run here. But I think at this point, I think Texas is still on the wrong side of the bubble to me, still, even after this quad 1 win. And I think Rodney Terry he probably needs to get to the tournament, NCAA tournament, and win at least one, maybe get to the second weekend to save his job at this point.